So I wanted to create this video just to talk about how much water you should drink. I had some previous videos that talked about only drinking when you're thirsty, and that could be like 1 cup a day. But when you're fasting, you need to be drinking more water than when you're not fasting. And the reason for that is that you're losing a good amount of your glycogen, especially if you're fasting over a period of time. You're doing prolonged fasting, 48, 72 hours, you're going to lose your glycogen. And with the glycogen loss, which is your stored sugar, you're also going to lose a ton of fluid. And I say fluid because it's not just water. It's a combination of water and electrolytes and salts. So you need to put that back. So the amount of water that I'm going to recommend is between 2 to 3 liters a day. And this will also prevent kidney stones, because the cause of kidney stones is a supersaturated urine that then you start forming this crystal out of calcium oxalate stones. But if you have enough fluid, they won't get that concentrated. So 2 to 3 liters of water is 8 to 12 cups of water. So I recommend putting in the electrolytes and sea salt. Don't forget the sea salt. A lot of times people forget that and they wonder why they're tired. You need both a good amount of potassium and magnesium and sea salt to prevent keto fatigue, keto flu, and overall weakness. Now, a lot of people are doing my electrolytes. It has 1,000 milligrams of potassium. And if they do my electrolytes without adding sea salt, they might end up with a salt deficiency and feel weaker. So one thing I do in the morning is I'll take about 1 liter of water. I'll take all my supplements. I'll add a scoop of this, and I will also add some more sea salt, probably 1/8 of a teaspoon. I will dissolve it in there. Now, the reason why I formulated this with high amounts of potassium, magnesium, and just a little bit of calcium with a very low amount of salt is because the average person starting keto is very heavy on sodium, very low on potassium. So it helps to rebalance them. But as you start doing keto, when you start eating healthy, you just don't want to forget about the sea salt. And I do have a sport electrolyte for more salt. But the point is, when you do fasting and keto, you need to keep your potassium and magnesium high, as well as your sea salts. And sea salts are really an electrolyte too, but I want to make a point about that because most people do not add enough sea salt. You need between 1 to 1.5 teaspoons every single day. If you work out, you need a lot more. So it really depends on how much you sweat. I also add a greens powder, the wheatgrass juice powder, 1 scoop in that drink, simply because when you're doing fasting, you are going to become more acidic. You're going to be in more deeper ketosis, and the green powder tends to be more alkaline and offset that acidity. And this is especially important if someone's prone to have gout, because your uric acid levels will go up, acting as an antioxidant when you do fasting. Hey, before you leave, I just wanted to give you a little quick history on some of the books that I wrote. This was one of the first books. It's called Dr. Berg Body Shapes. It was my attempt at writing about body types. What was very interesting about this book is I actually did all the images myself. Don't ask me why. They look actually not quite as professional as some of the images that I have in the new book. But anyway, this is my first attempt right here called Dr. Berg's Body Shape Diets. And then I wrote a book more extensive called The 7 Principles of Fat Burning. I don't even have a copy anymore, actually, because it's outdated. The next book, I put about 1,000 hours into this one right here called The New Body Type Guide. Major updates on the body types. I put a lot of energy into this. It has professional images, graphics, all sorts of things. Now, the problem with this book is it doesn't really describe what this is really about. Body types are only a small portion of what's in this book. And that's why I changed the name to the Healthy Keto Plan, okay? If you happen to have this book, you don't really need this book because there's only very, very minor updates. But if you don't have this, you need to get this one right here. This book goes into every single detail that you would ever want to know about.
It goes into the 7 principles of fat burning. It goes into hormones, the body types, the basic keto plan. It goes into intermittent fasting. I talk about the 10 fat-burning triggers and blockers and fat-burning strategies with a lot of details in every single chapter. I go into body issues that interfere with losing weight. There's very few people that just have a weight problem. They have a lot of body issues, whether it's sleeping problems, stress problems, inflammation, menopause. I cover that extensively in this book. Then I talk about how to get rid of stress, and I show you a technique. Then I get into exercising. And then I have a lot of really good recipes in this book as well. So this is a good reference guide. On my website, if you get this book, you get this one free. It's called Healthy Keto Intermittent Fasting. This is the shortcut, quick guide to this book. And the reason I created this book is to have you, within 45 minutes, learn how to do keto, okay, in intermittent fasting, exactly what you need to do. Then you can fill in the blanks with this book right here. So right now I'm doing a special. If you get this book, you get this one totally free, or you can go to Amazon and get these individually. So I just want to clarify the difference between this book and this updated one right here. If you don't have this, you need to get this right here. That way you can get the exact correct information to do it healthily.